Hello guys, today I'm going to show you my approach to tuning my drums, and I'm going to touch a little bit about everything: my snare, my toms, my hi-hats, my cymbals, my kick. And yeah, we're just going to start off with the kick. So for my kick, I like to do quarter turns, 3 sets of quarter turns per lug, and I follow the cross pattern, so starting with one lug and then going across to the other lug on the opposite side. And I'm going to show you more how that works with my toms and my snares. But yeah, that's how I like to do uh, my kick for the batter side, and for the resonance side, just quarter turns and following the cross pattern. And then I like to put pillows and foam inside it, so that it gives it a beefy, punchy sound. And yeah, it's I think it's like a 22 by 16 kick. But it's not a very big one, but it still works and it functions pretty well. But yeah, this is how it sounds. So this is my approach to tuning the first rec tom, and this is a 12 by 9. So what you want to do is that you want to first start off with just finger tightening each lug. So you want to just go across, like I was saying before, just finger tighten them and make sure that the lugs are well on the holes where they're supposed to go in. And then make sure that the ring is also fitting well on top of the tom, on top of the ring of the tom. And just tighten them, finger tighten them. Once you have them finger tightened and they feel pretty good, then you want to start tuning with the drum key. And I usually like to start off by doing quarter notes. Yeah, that feels pretty good. So we start off by doing quarter turns, yeah, on each lug, and following that same progression, so just across. So that's one quarter turn. And when we're doing this first, we just want to kind of feel that the drum head isn't dented on any part, and we just want to make sure that it's all pretty uniform. Then here we go again. This is the second round of quarter turns. And by the way, I am putting my tom on top of my drum throne, and I have a little towel on top of my drum throne so that it mutes the bottom head, and all that I can hear is just this top head that I'm working with. Because when you're tuning the drums, you want to mute that bottom head that you're not using, or that you're not tuning in the moment, so that you can just get one sound, one focus. And so all that we're gonna do now is that we're gonna use this app that I like to use for tuning. It's called Drum Tune Pro. And yeah, just put it on your phone, download it, and then we're gonna tune this top head, or this bottom head actually, is the bottom head to 153. So we're just gonna hit it. So here we go. We have this one at a good pitch. So now we're gonna try to get all of these other ones at a good pitch, matching this other one that we have over here. So now this head is pretty well. It's at pretty well. It's a 153. And yeah, that's how we do this head. So now once we're done with this one, we just flip the tom over. And now we're gonna work on the top head. So this drum is already finger tightened. It's already got the lugs finger tightened. So all I'm gonna do now is go through and do again quarter turns per lug, and I'm gonna do one round of quarter turns. This is round 2. So now we're gonna go to the third round. And as you see, I'm using the cross pattern. I'm just going across. Now we're gonna start using this tuning app. So we're at 142. So we'll keep on going up a little bit more. So now it is sitting around 152. And yeah, that's how this tom is gonna sound on the top head and on the bottom head. So now we're gonna mount it onto the drum set and see how it sounds. So this drum is already tuned, but I did the same process as I did for the first rack. Just first started tuning by finger. Just started tightening each lug cross pattern, and then tightening each lug cross pattern around quarter notes or half turns. But just do maybe like one round, because this one is tuned at 120 on the top head and 121 on the bottom head. So maybe just do like one round of half turns, and then start using the tuning app to get the numbers. So this top head is 120, so this is what it sounds like. And then the bottom head is tuned at 121, so it's just slightly higher in pitch. And once I get it on the drum set, we'll listen to how this drum sounds, but that's how it sounds for now. And this is the floor tom. And for the floor tom, I used the same process as I did on the other two toms. It's just that for this one, because it's tuned at a very, very low frequency. It's 96 on top and 96 on bottom. So for this drum specifically, it's this one is 13 by 9.5. So it's actually a very small floor tom, but I've just found a way to tune it and still make it sound deep and low like it would maybe on a 16 by 18 or 16 by 16. But yeah, this is a 13 by 9.5, so it's a pretty small floor tom. But so I do the same thing as I do with the other toms. I just maybe do like one round of like quarter turns, and then I'll start using the tune app, because this is very sensitive. It's a very low frequency, and because it's a small floor tom, the pitches can vary a whole lot easier than it would maybe with the bigger floor tom. But yeah, I just try to work with what I have, and I tune it at 96 on top and 96 on bottom. And once again, I just do maybe like one round of quarter turns on each lug cross pattern, and then use that from there. But it's 96 on top, 96 on bottom. So this is a 12 by 4.5 snare, and I did the same thing with the lugs and everything. I did, this one is pitched a lot higher, so it's two no, it's 380 on the bottom head, so that's 380 on the bottom head, and then it's 250 on the top head. So 250 on the top head and 380 on the bottom head. And the reason for that is so that it has a nice tone to it. It's not too low of a snare tuning, but it's not too high. It's just at a good medium, and I really like the sound to this snare because, you know, it's not too low and just very low tuning, or too high where it's just too much for this genre of music, which is worship music. And I feel like this tuning is very good because it's just a good medium. It's not too bright, but it's not too low, too deep, and it's just a good medium for this genre of music. And yeah, I did the same thing. I did maybe 4 or 5 rounds of quarter turns, and then I started using the tuning app. But if you want to, because this is a harder maybe tom, if you can call it a tom, to tune, because it's got the wires at the bottom and everything, and that adds its own effect to the tuning. So you can do maybe like 4 rounds of quarter turns and then immediately start using the app and try to get to the numbers. So again, it's 250 on the top head and 380 on the bottom head, and that's the snare. So now that we have everything set up, the cymbals, the drums, the snare, the kick, everything, the hi-hats, I just wanted to go over a little bit on the cymbals. So for the cymbals, I don't really have like a specific size that I play with yet. Right now I'm just working with small crashes. But yeah, this one is a 16-inch cymbal, and this one is a 16-inch Zildjian crash. It's pretty nice. It's good to work with as a ride, and it's just it's pretty nice. It's something like this. Pretty nice pitch to it. It's not too bright, but it's not too maybe dark either. But preferably, I'd say maybe try, if you can, to get maybe a bigger ride instead of using crashes as a rides. But I feel like a 16-inch crash is a pretty good ride to start off with. And then this is my other cymbal. This one is not too bright either, but it does have a lot of resonance. It sustains its sound for quite a bit of range, but it's a pretty nice cymbal too. My hi-hats, I have it's 13-inch hi-hats. They're Zildjian too, and they're not too crispy, but they're not too bright either. They're just a good amount of mix of both. So they're not too bad. They're pretty good. And yeah, that's what I work with as my hi-hats. And I'm just going to go on a recap over how all the toms and the snares sound like once they're all together. So this is a 12 by 9, and it's tuned to 153 in the bottom and 152 on the top. So this is what it sounds like. And then this is a 13 by 10.5 rack tom, and I tuned it to 121 on the bottom and 120 on top, and this is what it sounds like. And then my floor tom, it's 13 by 9.5, so it's actually smaller than this second rack tom. But this just proves that you can get good sounds out of drums, even if they're not technically the appropriate size for a certain specific pitch or tone. But yeah, this floor tom is actually smaller than the second tom. but it's actually tuned at a lower range, but it sounds great. So this is again a 13 by 9.5, and it's tuned 96 top and bottom, and it sounds like this. And my snare, it's a 12 by 4.5. Again, it's a small snare compared to maybe other snares y'all guys have heard about, but it's actually a very good snare to start off with, and I've used it for years now, and I've learned everything that I've known with this that I have now, and it's just a great maybe example that you don't need to have a good professional drum set in order to learn and play well. You just need to, get a good decent one. This is a OSP percussion, and it's not a high quality drum set, but it works well. It helps me when I need to practice and when I need to get everything ready. But yeah, this is a great drum set to start off with. You can use other drum sets, but yeah, this is 12 by 4.5, and I tuned the bottom to 380, and the top was 250, and I added a bit of moon gels to this snare because it had a lot of pitches that weren't too good sounding. So y'all don't be surprised if y'all get those same results. Just put a few moon gels. I put 3 large moon gels, full moon gels, and then I just put a small strip on the top here. And so this is what it sounds like. So it's a pretty nice sound there. It's not too, like I said, not too low of a tuning, but it's not too bright either. And then again, the floor tom. So now I'm gonna go through a little drum roll. So it is a pretty nice tuning approach that I recommend y'all to give a try. It's I say it's a maybe one size fits all because it's a pretty nice mix of sounds. It's not too low of a tuning for the toms, and it's not too high either. It's just a good medium. You can use it in almost all songs in worship music, and it's just great. The snare is, again, it's like a good medium. It's not too bright and it's not too low tuned. It's just a good medium, and it's nice. So hopefully y'all guys liked this video. Please give it a like and subscribe, and hopefully y'all can tune in and subscribe for more content like this. And thank y'all guys for watching, and hopefully this was a blessing. See you on the next one.